I've got Mr. the Wise Attic with me, Adam Greer. How are you doing?
Doing great, gaining wisdom all the time, so I try to bring it to the people.
Yeah, I mean, you are a guru of the attic space in terms of attic efficiency, and if you're like most people, you're a student of what you do yourself, and you haven't fully learned everything. And if you had, that'd be a little arrogant to say.
Yes.
So, would you agree that every new experience you have in the attic is another thing you can check off or write down, write a book like you have about your experiences and say, I'm going to tweak this a little more. My experience is a little better and I can make that attic just a little more efficient.
Yeah, it's exactly I think that's the way we should approach life, period. If we don't
Hmm.
learn something every day, then we're just arrogant, like you said, and we're stuck. So we should be learners of every moment that we can. But specifically in the attic, we started the company in 2019, and what I knew then to what I know now is that's not even the same at all. And so I wrote the book that you've mentioned is and I'm trying to help the homeowner learn what I've learned. It's really meant for the homeowner's education to try to pass it on. What is an attic? Where did it come from? Why do we have it? What's it supposed to do? All those questions are in the book, and you can find it on Amazon.
That's incredible. Yes, I think it's amazing when you write a book. It shows that you're competent and that you really care about what you do. You've got passion for what you do, and you want your customer to be educated before they hire you, which I think is fair. Everybody, I think, should have a book about what they do. Let's talk about the signs that your attic may be hurting your home's health, the overall home's health. So it's kind of like if someone's a drug addict, if they drink too much, if they eat a lot of ultra processed food is bad for their body. There are some things that the attic can do that's bad for the house.
Yeah, yeah. So th- simple. Let's start with pests. That's a big thing. Uh, we've all got it. We live in Texas. There's always something trying to live in our attic space. You do want to, if you hear that running around in your walls or running around the ceiling at night, you need to get, a pest company out there and find out what's really going on and get rid of it. The other thing is squirrels and raccoons can be devastating to an attic. So don't ignore pests. I think that's just there. Yes, we all have them, but you don't want it to become out of control. So that's a big one. And that will ruin your attic. We talked before about do you remove that, old insulation and put in new. If you've got too big of an infestation, then you have to remove the insulation in order to make it attic healthy again. So that's a big one. The other thing is moisture. What's going on in your attic is getting moisture. We live in Houston, and there's just moisture as part of our life, right? So you want to make sure that your attic stays dry. If it's not, it's creating mold. Mold creates, goes into health issues and all kinds of stuff, and it stinks.
Mm.
You start getting that musty smell. And the same thing can happen with critters too. You can get that if it smells like a cat box and you open up your ladder, that's a sign that your attic is not healthy by for sure. So we can deal with that though. We have an enzyme treatment that can it's not super bad. We can get in there and salvage it. But sometimes you have to go bigger extreme with removing pest control type of thing. But yeah, mold, is a big one. Pests and efficiency. Efficiency is affecting your home. It's just we've gone into, a lot of times, for example, we live in rain and floods and hurricanes, and so people will repair their ceilings, repair their home, and insulation doesn't get addressed, and so that spot that was repaired has no insulation on it. We go up an attic all the time where there's this big blank space with no insulation. Talk to them about that. And, oh yeah, a couple years ago we water heater flooded and we had to get it all fixed. And you're like, we didn't replace the insulation. So yeah, your attic could be hurting you financially and physically.
Yeah, don't ignore your attic. We talk about it all the time. A lot of people stick their head in the sand and like, well, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. No, it's an important part. Most of us here in Texas, especially in the greater Houston area where we are, don't have basements, so that you don't have to worry about. Okay, don't have to worry about the basement because you don't have one. If you had one, that's a whole nother conversation. Basements can be
Yeah.
trouble as well.
Right.
But, you're sandwiched between a basement and an attic, in a lot of traditional homes in the United States of America. Here, it's mostly a slab in the attic. The attic, you really can't get away from an attic. We always have some type of attic. Doesn't matter if you have a 2, 3-story, one-story house, you're going to have something that the shingles are on. Your attic may only be this high, which isn't good. It could be very high. It could have all kinds of peaks in there, and they're all different. Adam can come out, take a look at your attic. He can assess the attic, make sure you have enough insulation, make sure you have enough ventilation. He can pull out all his little calculators, and he can show you, in easy to understand formula terms, what's going on in your attic and what you might need.
Yeah. And part of our investigation in your attic is we look for other things too. Are your water pans, your drain pans
Mm.
filled? Are they holding water? We don't just go up there and look for insulation. We because people don't go in the attic. We try to give a pretty thorough. If we see other things, vents aren't connected to the ceiling; they're hanging off. All kinds of things can go on attics. We try to do a pretty thorough investigation. We're up there to give people great advice for their attic, and those things have nothing to do with me. I can't fix the HVAC system, right? But it's important to point it out that you've got problems. Your pan is full of water, so it's going to be in your ceiling too. So
Yeah, it's like a policeman. They point out that your taillight's broken. They don't fix it. They just pull you over.
they just pull you over and you get it fixed. And by the way, here's your $30 ticket.
Adam Greer, as always, thank you so much for joining me today here on the show.
My pleasure. It's always good to be here.